Now we are going to discuss the Kelvin's law. So this is used to determine the most economic choice of the conductor size. Now the total annual cost, it is going to be divided into two types. One is the fixed charge and the other is the running charge. So fixed charge, as the name goes, it is a fixed charge, it is not going to change. But running charge, it is a variable quantity. Okay, it will depend on the amount of power that is utilized. Okay, now what is the fixed charge? Usually it is the cost of manufacturing, cost of investment, right? It is the capital cost. Okay, and running cost, like I said, it will depend on the power that is utilized. That is the efficiency. Okay, so efficiency will come into picture. That means the cost of power losses. Now what are the majority losses that are present in the distribution system? It will be ohmic losses, right? I square R losses. Now this capital cost you can represent as one constant plus another term which is going to be proportional to the area of cross section. Okay, A is the area of cross section of the conductor, and the running charge, this is proportional to I square R, where R is the resistance. So how will resistance depend on the area of cross section? It is going to be inversely proportional, right? So this is, you can represent as P3 divided by A. Okay, since R is equal to rho L by A. So fixed charge will be proportional to the area of cross section and running charge is going to be inversely proportional to the area of cross section. So this here is the proportionality symbol. Okay, so don't get confused. Now we need to find the most economic size. So what the Kelvin's law states is, the most economic size will be when the variable part of the fixed charge, okay, so the part that is dependent on the area of cross section, when that is equal to the running charges, that is P2A is equal to P3 by A. According to Kelvin's law, the most economic choice of conductor size will be when variable part of fixed charge, that is P2A, is equal to the annual cost due to energy losses, that is P3 by A. So this can be proved mathematically as well. What will be the total cost? The total annual cost can be written as P1 plus P2A plus P3 by A. Okay. Now we want the minimum cost. This should be minimum. So what will we do? We have to differentiate this and equate to 0. Okay. So differentiating the cost and equating to 0. So if you are taking this constant to be C, okay, annual cost we are taking as C, then what is going to happen? dC by dA is equal to 0. We have to differentiate with respect to the area of cross section, right? So this is going to be 0 plus P2 minus P3 by A square. So this is equal to 0. So this implies P2A is equal to P3 by A. Okay, so this is what we have already told in the Kelvin's law. So from here we can get what is the value of A, right? A is equal to root over P3 by P2. Okay, so this will be the most economic choice of the conductor size. Okay. So this is often also represented in graphical manner. If this x-axis is the conductor size, that is A, and this is the annual cost. Okay. Now the fixed charges, it is going to be P1 plus P2A. Okay. So if you take only the P2A part, it is going to pass through the origin, right? This is P2A. And if you want to represent the entire fixed charges, then it is going to be just displaced by how much? This is going to be P1. Okay. So this is P1 plus P2A. Next we have the running charges. This is going to be inversely proportional. So it is going to be like this. This is the running charges, that is P3 by A. Now the point where these two meet, right, that will be the most economic size. And if you can draw the total cost as well. So that is going to be something like this. Okay, so that means the minimum cost is going, the minimum, right, this is the minimum point of this curve. So it is going to occur when at this point. Okay, so this here is the total cost.